Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're looking at yet another rangefinder. Seem to come in like buses, they all come at the same time. This one today we're looking at is a Konica S. This dates from 1959, the same year as the introduction of the Nikon F. And I'll show you the front of it. This is the era of the selenium cell. As you can see here, we have a selenium cell. It's a rangefinder, so there's the rangefinder window, and there's the viewfinder window. Leaf shuttered camera. It's got a really nice lens on this one actually. This is a 48mm f2. It's got this nice sort of textured finish. Comes from the era, a bit like yesterday's camera. We look at this one, the selenium cell is a match needle system, and this cell wasn't really working, but it seems to be working again today. But it's coupled, and on the front of the lens here we have the shutter speed selector, so we have from a 500th all the way down to 1 second plus B. Behind that we have an aperture ring, so f2, which is pretty wide, nice and open, all the way down to f22. And then at the back here we have the focusing. You can see the lens moving in and out there. We also have a depth of field scale, nice close up next to there. So it's a match needle system. As you can see, you have to try and get it lined up. How accurate it is, don't really know, because as I say, yesterday that wasn't working when I sort of pulled the camera out to look at it. You can see there it's got a Copal S3 shutter. It's got the little knob bit on there to help with the focusing, and it's got a connection for the flash sync. This one does actually have a filter on the front of it. Major issue with these cameras is where they've been sat around, the shutters on them get a little bit lazy. This one was the same, but the shutters are quite easy to get to. These front parts of the lens just unscrews like so. I cannot rate this lens highly enough. This lens is quite an amazing performer. You can see it's coated, and there you can see the shutter. I'll wind it on, set it to a second, and you can see the diaphragm being opened and closed, very quiet. So yeah, quite easy to get in there to service the shutter really. This one wasn't working, but it is now. Like all of these cameras, they need using. Quite big and chunky. It came out about the same sort of time. 59 was when the Leica M series came out, and they switched from the Leica thread mount to the Leica bayonet. This has a lot better viewfinder than a Leica, though. A lot better viewfinder than a Leica. A really big viewfinder in there. And because it's a rangefinder, you can accurately focus it as well. It does have a self-timer, the usual style of self-timer. That can be a little bit lazy as well. And there you go, self-timer. We have the usual X and M selector for flash. X is for electronic, M is for bulbs. But yeah, very nice. I'll say I was planning on using this with an external light meter, but this one seems to have come back to life a bit now. Which is kind of, it's coupled. But luckily with this camera, if the cells, or when the cells do die, or if it's not accurate, you can always Sunny 16 app on your phone, etc. Or just use an external light meter. Frame counter. Kind of reminder tab on the top here that you can set to different things. So you've got like a blue setting and a red setting, which I presume is for colour and black and white, etc. Shutter release, as you've already seen. Cold shoe, pull up lever for rewinding the film. And to enter into the back of the camera, there's a catch at the bottom. Got quite a nice sort of rubberized finish. It's a nice camera to hold, it's quite heavy. You can see the pressure plate, Sakura film, which was their own brand of film. And then you can see the take-up spool, sprocket drive, and this is where your film's going to go. So make sure we're not going to damage the lens by putting it on its nose. This had a UV filter on it. Just do the clean-up. So how to load one of these, very, very simple. Got Fujifilm today. So that goes in there. Pull this across. I guess on this one there's only the one slot, as you can see. I'll zoom you in a little bit. You can see that there's a slot in the take-up spool. Not multi-slotted, but slot this in. Lining up the sprockets. There we go. Take up the slack, so you know that the film's moving through the camera. You can see the guide rails there. Close the back up. Zoom you back out again. That folds away. Set the shutter speed to something a bit more reasonable. That's a 60th. So 1959, so that's what, 60-year-old camera. Still functioning. Very easy, simple camera to use. But it gives you quite a lot of control. I'd say it's got a really, really good viewfinder on it. They're sort of renowned for their viewfinders. And it does have parallax correction. So as you move the focus in closer and further away, you'll see that the rails, the guides in there will change, will move. So that it allows for where you're focusing. So it's quite an advanced camera. Really highly regarded. There was an S2 and an S3. The S2 came out in 1961. You can come across one of these at an affordable price, well worth picking up. As I say, even if the selenium meter doesn't work, because it's got the shutter speed dial and an aperture dial, you can still use them. I don't know where you'd set the ASA on this thing. That's one thing I haven't figured out yet. That's focusing, that's for that. Yeah, there must be a way of setting the ASA on this. Oh, there we go. ASA. So there's a little lever here. You push down, and that's where you set your. Zoom in a bit, keep it steady, and then you'll be able to see. So a little lever here. Just push that in. And you can set the ASA, and this is a 200 ASA film. So there's the ASA. It only goes up to 800, which in 1959, that was very high actually. You've seen cameras that are a lot lower than that, so you can see it's quite a well specified camera. It goes all the way down to 10. So yeah, 800 ASA. And so it's very well specified. There we go, 200. And that is now ready for using. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. That's the camera for today. The Konica S rangefinder. I say there is S2 and S3 versions. I prefer this earlier version because this is a really, really good lens. This version was available with 3 lenses, and this is the one to get. It's the 48mm f2. Absolutely beautiful lens. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Comments, questions, queries down below. Please subscribe and like and all the usual YouTube stuff. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.